A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a... Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cereal Snob. There have been a ton of cereals being announced and released recently. This is just one of those seasons of the year where like somewhere around May, June, a ton of new cereals will come out, and then somewhere around like October, November, leaks come out, and then like November, December is when we see them start to release to stores. And I'm just realizing that's kind of the pattern. But recently, General Mills announced new Cheerios, a new Toast Crunch brand, Ghostbusters cereal. They have a new Team Cheerios. They have new cereal oatmeals coming out, which honestly, very excited. High-key excited for those. Like, I love a good oatmeal, especially in the middle of a winter where it's like you wake up and you're cold. Do I want cereal with cold milk, or do I want something that's like cereal and warm? I go with oatmeal all the time, so very excited to have that. But not all news is equal. Not all news is as cool to me as Together with Pride. Now, this is not the first iteration of the cereal. Actually, this is the third iteration. It's evolved a couple of times since it was originally released in 2018. A little bit of backstory about that so you guys can caught up to speed is in 2018, in August, or October, called Spirit Day, you could get this box exclusively at the New York location of the Kellogg's store that was there. You just go in and get this box for free, mind you, and you get to pour all of the cereals together to make your own little batch, which again, super cool, most importantly because it was free. But the idea back then is the same as it was now, is that the All Together cereal is about all of the Kellogg's brands coming together to pledge their support in celebrating the LGBTQ plus IA community. And they donate money that year. They did it again in 2019, but instead of this time having all the cereals mixed up inside, what you got were teeny tiny little boxes of the cereals individually, which were lamer, but you could buy this online and get it delivered to your house versus only being able to get it in New York. So that was really cool. And then in 2020, well, the pandemic happened, so nothing cool happened that year, basically, with cereal. It was just a horrible time for everybody. But in 2021, they decided to come out with the same concept again, but this time it wasn't gonna be called All Together Cereal anymore. It was going to be called Together with Pride. And unlike previous versions, this one is a unique cereal all on its own that I think is way cooler than the other editions. A couple interesting things to point out that I didn't know until I watched Gabe from Cereal Time's video of this is that you'll notice the mascots on the Together with Pride cereal has the Honey Smacks the Diggum Frog, and he was absent from the previous two versions, and Gabe speculates that's because the salmonella poisoning that was going on, or salmonella scare from there back in those years. But now that we're not worried about that anymore, we can finally include him on the front of the box. But another thing that I find really interesting is that in 2018, you really had the Rastafarian Cinnamon still. He still has that Rastafarian hat. Now, no hat. They still look creepy. I think we can all agree that the Applejack's mascots, Applejack and Cinnamon, probably should go away. They don't bring joy to anyone, I'm sure. And more or less, especially when they're around the rest of the gang, I don't like looking at them, and I'm sure you don't either. So that's that, but that's neither here nor there, because what we're really here to talk about is the cereal today, Together with Pride. Now, instead of releasing in October, it's being released for Pride Month, which is in June, so it should be hitting store shelves now. I hear a lot of Targets have it so far, but it will be here through the end of the month to keep Pride on people's mind. And Kellogg's is donating up to $140,000, a minimum of $100,000. Not sure why there's a limit to how much they will donate, but there is. And I'm not going to try and be pessimistic about that. I'm just glad that they're donating something. All you have to do is buy this from your local store, upload the receipt online, and they'll donate $3 from every one of those up to $140,000. Now, the cereal itself are heart-shaped cereal pieces, which look suspiciously is the better word. I meant to say that the first time. Suspiciously like Fruit Loops, but in heart shapes. Okay, fine, I'll eat it just because I know you want me to. It's very similar to Fruit Loops as far as like that note of flavor you get as it's all done. Once you swallow it, that's the familiar base. But this really does taste like that Crayola cereal. I didn't do a review of it. no video review. But I really love that box of cereal. I ate the entire thing. I thought it was really good. I think at the end of the day, this is a really good cereal too. And the coolest thing about this, no joke, is it is, where does it say it? Oh, it doesn't say anywhere here, but there are glitter bits on the cereal pieces themselves. So you get to eat the cereal and you get to poop glitter later on. That seems like a win-win to me. So I think this is so cool and you should be able to get this now. A little bit of background, I guess, a bit more, but this is a partnership between Kellogg's and GLAAD, G-L-A-A-D. GLAAD and Kellogg's together are really pledging to support the LGBTQ plus IA community and asking you to pledge not to bully them in any way, because they say that we believe that all young people and those young at heart deserve an environment where they can grow up to their best selves. That's why we're joined forces with GLAAD to go purple on Spirit Day to stand up against bullying in all forms. You know, they say that basically be accepting, be inclusive, no matter who you love, where you're from. You know, you deserve to be treated like a human because you are human. And I've made really powerful stances on this before, or at least I think they're powerful coming from a cereal guy. But I'm a huge believer that we're all here and we only have so much time. So getting all caught up in the nitty gritty of like who someone's sexually attracted to, or maybe someone's just kind of weird, like why does that matter? It doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, because I know it does. It's such a big part of so many people's identities. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm very accepting of everybody. And if you're different, like, guess what? I'm a weird dude. Like, anyone who knows me would be like, no, that dude's not, like, they can't even, they're always trying to figure me out. But there's just like I love to dance. I love to sing. I'm currently wearing shorts. Like, dudes don't do this, but I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I wore leggings to the gym today because I felt like I look super good in leggings, and I think dudes should be able to wear leggings. And I don't think wearing leggings should make people think, oh my gosh, is that guy gay? But I get asked that question all the time here, and I'm just letting you know, it's okay to ask those questions. It's okay to be curious, but it's not okay to pick on people because they're slightly different than you or because you don't understand it. So my real thing that I implore all of you to do is be kind, be open, be welcoming, and before you judge, seek to understand. Just, if you can try and understand people before you try and judge them, then your judgment voice, that thing that's always criticizing other people and you inside your own head, gets smaller, gets less loud, and I think that makes it just way more beautiful at the end of the day. It's just so much better overall. So that's all I have to say today. I'm really glad you guys came back for this episode. I'm hoping I will be posting more and more episodes as they go on, because my goal is to streamline this process and do that because I love talking about this and I love this community and I want more of us here. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the comments. See you guys.